And we will begin. Oh, it's recording. Well, hello everyone. This is Resilience. Thank you for joining us today. We have a special celebrity zero waste guest that I would like to introduce. Her name is Anne-Marie, the zero waste chef. And when I met Anne-Marie, it was during Race to Zero Waste, and she was sharing some of her zero waste recipes, and I wanted to share a recipe that I have been practicing ever since I met Anne-Marie. And whenever I chop up vegetables, I always save my vegetable ends and I put them in the freezer. Why? Because I can actually boil my vegetable ends in water with a little bit of salt, and I make my own vegetable broth. And ever since Anne-Marie taught me this zero waste trick, I have not had to purchase vegetable broth. And the great thing is I know where my vegetable broth comes from. I know that my vegetables are organic, and I know that I made it myself. So I know what I'm putting inside my body. So that's a little trick of the trade. And it is thanks to Anne-Marie, the zero waste chef. And now we are going to learn more ways of reducing our food waste and making lovely, delicious, and healthy meals. Please, everybody, let's welcome Anne-Marie.
Thank you, Jessica. Thanks for having me. That was a while ago we met.
It was.
Race for Zero Waste. So you've been making your broth for several years now.
Yes.
That's great. Well, thanks for having me. So I'm going to make soup, and some of you are going to make soup alongside me. So I sent you a picture, Jessica, of what I'm putting into it. I chopped everything up before we got on here because I didn't think people would want to watch me chop every little tiny thing. So I can only show you the after, but so I make a lot of soup, clear out the fridge soup or shop the fridge soup. You can put so many things in soup and it reduces food waste, which is great. It not only saves you money, but it's great for the environment because food that doesn't get eaten and ends up in landfill, it wastes all of the resources that went into the food. So the water, the energy, the labor, people had to work really hard to grow that food. And so on. And then you waste the food itself. And in landfill, it's compacted and anaerobic bacteria break it down and they release methane gas, which is much more potent than carbon dioxide. So if you eat all of the food you buy, you're really doing a great thing for the environment. So soup is the easiest thing to make. You can put all sorts of things into it within reason. Don't put cupcakes in it, but all sorts of vegetables and bits and ends of things. So I'll show you, I cleared out my fridge and I'll show you what I found. So I had a couple of onions. I had one that was half an onion that my daughter had left behind and I totally forgot about it. And I thought, oh, perfect, that'll go in the soup. So I chopped some onions. Now the one onion, it had sprouted. So it has a little green top. So I've put that in water and that will continue to grow. And then I'm going to plant it when I get around to it. And then hopefully I can, well, we'll see what happens. At the very least, I'll be able to eat these green tops, but maybe it will flower and go to seed and I'll get some seeds to plant some onions. We'll see. It's fun. And I have nothing to lose because, it's just a vegetable scrap. So I have onions. A friend of mine, I told her I was doing this and she said, oh, let me give you some stuff because she's going on a trip tomorrow. So she gave me 2 things of green garlic and this stuff smells amazing. And she's going away for a week. This would have just turned to mush in the fridge and now it's going into delicious soup. So I have that. I already chopped one up. That's what it looks like. And I found lots of carrots. So I'm putting carrots in my soup. I found a tiny bit of sweet potato, so I'm putting that in. Now the carrots also had green tops at one point. My daughter used the, the soft ferny parts to make pesto. And then there were just some green stems left. And I chopped those up and I tossed them in. And I really liked them in soup. I was surprised the first time I did that. They had a nice texture and they're good, and this is just stuff that ordinarily we throw out or compost, but you can eat it. My friend who gave me the green onion, she had some sad looking lettuce, fairly sad, but it's wilted, but it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. And it's just a small amount. Like, what do you do with a handful of lettuce like that? You throw it into soup. And, I had some cooked beans in the freezer. So I thawed those out last night. In the recipe that Jessica is going to send you, I have soaked beans in there. You can use soaked beans or use cooked beans. Occasionally I'll make ricotta cheese or paneer, and then I get a bunch of whey, leftover whey. So I save that. It has kind of a tangy flavor, and I throw that into soup. I also make bread with it, use this instead of water for bread. So I find a use for everything. And it's a lot of fun. It saves a fortune. The average family of 4 in the US throws out $18 worth of food every year. So that's a lot. And I think that's everything that I'm gonna put in. Oh, and I found half a lemon in the fridge. So soup is really good if you put some acid in it at the end. So vinegar or lemon juice. It makes a world of difference. Really, really delicious. And this is just some scrappy. I'm obsessed with citrus zest. So I have like, a grater, and I'll usually remove the zest. These are organic lemons. And so when I eat vegetables and peels, I get organic because the peels harbor more of the pesticide residues. So use everything. All right, now I chopped most of the stuff except for this green garlic. So let me see, can you see what I'm doing? So I'm just gonna chop that up, and it smells amazing. And then I'll show you, I'm obsessed with these little vegetable scraps. I planted a bunch of them on the weekend, and we'll see what happens. And like I said, if nothing happens, I've lost nothing. There's my little end with the little roots, and I'm going to put that in with its little friends. So now I have 3 things in there. I'll put them in the window, and some little green shoots will start to come out of the garlic. Now, if I replant that, it'll probably grow quite a bit of green shoots, which are delicious. My hands smell really garlicky now. Okay, so now I'll start making the soup. So I'm gonna bring you over here to my oven. Let's see now. Oh, okay, I'm gonna turn it on. And so you can use whatever fat you have on hand to saute the onions first. Well, here, I'll tell you. First, I'm gonna saute the onions, and then I'm gonna add some dried herbs. You can use different herbs. I have rosemary here and some sage. So those are great choices. I'll put a little bit of each in there after I saute the onions. Then I'm going to add my vegetables, and I'm going to swirl them around a little bit. Then I'm going to add water or broth and cook the vegetables for about 20 minutes. And then I'm going to add my cooked beans. Now, if you soaked your beans, you would saute the onions first, and then add your spices. You can use dried or fresh. I don't have any fresh right at the moment, so I'm using dry. Then you would add your soaked beans and you would just cover that with enough water that they're all submerged, and you'd cook them for about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, usually an hour. You'd taste them. If they pass the 5 bean test, you eat 5. And if all 5 are cooked, then they're done. Then you move on to the next step, which is to add the vegetables. So I'll show you. I'm doing a condensed version of this so that you don't have to sit here for an hour and watch me cook beans. So back over to my pot. Okay, so there I have some olive oil in my pot. And I'm going to add my onions and green garlic. And you know, if you have questions about what I'm doing, you can enter them into the chat. But this is just a great way to use up vegetables. Can you hear me over the sizzling, Jessica?
Yes, we can hear you just fine.
Oh, good. So here we go. The green garlic also adds a nice color. Plus it tastes great. So I sauteed these for about 5 minutes until they're softened. I like to use a big pot and make a big vat of soup. And if you know, see the picture of what I started off with, it doesn't look like much. When I do this, I always think, oh, I have nothing on hand. You know, I'm not going to be able to make anything for dinner out of what I have on hand. And then, you know, once you make it, it's always a vat, a nice vat of soup that lasts for a few days. Oh, and I'm doing this over like about medium-high heat. And you don't have to stir constantly, I guess, but I don't know, I do. It's kind of meditative. Also, I don't want to burn anything. Okay, so let's pretend that's 5 minutes. Okay, next, I'm going to add some thyme, dried thyme. Oh no, sorry, I said rosemary. I think it's rosemary. Yes, it's rosemary. Dried rosemary, and you know, I kind of eyeball it. I'm putting about a teaspoon of each in. If you're making like a really huge pot, just add more to taste. And that smells amazing. Yum. I bought these in bulk last year before COVID. A lot of the bulk stores, well, most of the bulk stores have stopped allowing people to bring their own jars in to fill up with bulk food, but it's slowly coming back. And so that helps reduce plastic waste in addition to food waste. Okay, so I do that for like a minute. Now I am going to add my vegetables. So here, let me talk to you a bit. Now, if you have really hard root vegetables, add those first. So add those early. So potatoes, I have sweet potatoes here. I cut them kind of small so they'll cook faster. So hard things like sweet potatoes, turnips, carrots, they're pretty hard. Add them early. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna add all of these guys. I think I can add a little bit more oil. And I'm gonna stir that. Okay, I'll go back over here. I'm gonna stir that up. I'm just gonna like coat these with oil a little bit. Stir them around for a couple of minutes. Smells really good. Okay, now I'm going to add my broth. Now this is broth that I made a while ago and I froze it. And you can just add water. If you don't have broth, water tastes delicious because I have so many vegetables in here. But I want to use up my broth. So I'm adding some broth. And I'm going to add some of this whey, not all of it, because I want to use some to make bread. And I'm going to save some of that. And I'm going to turn the heat up because that was cold. And then I'm going to add some water. And I like to add like just kind of enough water to cover. So like about that much water. And okay, I have to, what was that? Oh, right. This is a tiny amount of rice. It's only a 1/4 cup. And I found it in my cupboard. It's actually sticky rice, which I do a lot of things. I was talking to a chef who interviewed me last week. And I said, I do a lot of things that are probably wrong. They're not like no classically trained chef would do, but it tastes good. And I told him, I think that kind of gives me an advantage because I don't know that I'm not supposed to do it and it works and it tastes good. So I'm gonna put this tiny amount of rice because it's different from any other rice I have in the cupboard. I'm not gonna boil water for 20 minutes to make a tiny amount of rice. So this is perfect for soup. So I'm gonna throw that in. And it takes about 20 minutes to cook. So now I'm just going to let that cook for 20 minutes. And then I'll put the lid on it. After 20 minutes, I'll set my timer. Then I will add my beans. Whoop. And then I will add my leafy greens and these little tiny bits from the carrot tops because these cook really fast. So they just need, you know, well, these need a little bit more. Actually, maybe I'm gonna throw these in now. They don't take that long, but the greens really take no time at all. So if you have spinach, like kind of sad looking spinach, put it in soup. If your carrots are, if they're bendy, they're fine. They're perfect for soup. I've put apples in my soup. If I had kind of a soft apple right now, I will put that in. It doesn't make your soup sweet. Just, you know, you use the apple, it tastes good. Tomatoes, you know, you can just put all sorts of things in it. So yeah, I would, after 20 minutes, add my sad greens and then my lemon juice to taste. When you cook like this, taste as you go. You know, like taste it and go, you'll know, okay, it needs a little bit more lemon juice. If you do something like you add too much salt, add more random vegetables to sort of dilute it. And you could add more water also. And like, that's it. And so now this will cook and I'll finish it and then I'll have food. I mean, this is like, I don't know, they'll feed 3 people for a couple of days. And I made it, I mean, the stuff I made it with, it looked pretty sad. It wasn't rotting. It just, you know, like sad carrots and half an onion and, you know, garlic that was on its way out. So that's it. That's pretty much it.
Wow, thank you so much, Anne-Marie. This is really exciting. So I want to ask our audience if anybody has any questions. If you have any questions, we can open up the chat, and you can also, we have a small enough group where we can unmute ourselves if we have any questions.
Here, I'm going to make myself smaller here. Okay, there.
And if we don't have any questions, I'm going to just dive in to the next exercise, which will allow us to go into the lesson plans. So one of the lesson plans is to grow from garbage. And what does that mean? So like Anne-Marie showed, we can actually plant vegetables from our vegetable tops and ends. For example, garlic. Garlic can also be planted. Sometimes the garlic cloves sprout and you can plant it. This is my garlic plant that a clove sprouted, and I put it into soil, and now I have a baby plant growing. Also, one of my treasured plant babies is my avocado tree, and I actually grew my avocado tree from a seed. And the thing with avocados is you want to sprout your avocado seeds from avocados that have not been refrigerated. If you put the avocado in the refrigerator, most likely the seed will not sprout. But if you haven't put your avocado in the refrigerator, once you eat the avocado, you can take the seed, put toothpicks along the side of it and hold it, place it above water over a few weeks, and put it maybe in a windowsill so the seed can have sunlight with water. And in time, the seed will sprout a root that will go into the water. And then at some point, it will start to sprout its top, its stem, and then it will start to produce leaves. And then you can actually plant your avocado tree. And this avocado tree I planted in 2018. So yeah, it's a mature baby avocado tree. All right, so I'm going to go into our lesson plans. So one of the lesson plans that we are going to ask our students to try out is a citizen scientist experiment. And so we're going to watch a quick little video, and then I will go into the instructions. So here we go. that is the video that's going to drive us right into growing from garbage. So the next lesson plan for my 3rd and 5th graders is to take carrot ends or turnip tops. There's a few different vegetables that you can try this experiment with, and I actually looked it up for all of you. So you try green onions, celery, romaine lettuce, bok choy, cabbage, carrots, and I highly suggest experimenting with carrots, or you can try onions like leeks and onions. If your family has basil, mint, cilantro, or something that looks exciting is experimenting with a pineapple, sweet potatoes and potatoes. But I suggest going with the easy route, which is the carrots. So the lesson plan for 3rd and 5th graders is to predict, if you chop off your carrot top and put it into water, I want you to predict how many inches your plant will sprout. So you'll write your prediction in this box, and then you will follow the directions from the video, and I will be sending a recording of this video to everybody so they can, in case if you need more instructions or need to go back, you can. So you will put your carrot tops in water, place them out in the sun, and you will start to document for the next 10 days, how much your vegetable has grown. And you then will put what at the end of your experiment was your prediction correct? And how many times do you think you can make more food out of leftover vegetable bottoms? So this is one of the lesson plans, and see if you can, if you too can start to grow your own vegetables from materials from food that you would have actually thrown out before. You can start to look at them as possible plants that you can put out in your garden or keep inside your house. Now, another lesson plan for my 3rd and 5th graders is to now be your own zero waste chefs, but we are going to call you the top leftover chef. And this lesson is to actually look in your refrigerator and look in your kitchen and see if you have any leftovers and what meal you can actually prepare. So you're going to write how to make your snack, your meal or snack, and you're going to write down your list of ingredients and your recipe of how you made it. So you're going to be your own chef as well as your own gardener with the leftovers that you have in your kitchen and in your refrigerator. So that is the lesson for 3rd and 5th graders, and I wish you the best of luck. And also for my families, the Zero Waste Chef has a book that's coming out, and it's her new cookbook, and I will share it with you all. It's in the link, the chat link, and we will also send this information, a copy of this. We will share a copy of this video along with the ingredients, the recipe that the Zero Waste Chef just shared with us, as well as information for her new cookbook, which is a great way to help you stretch the dollar and really utilize all of the food in your refrigerator and in your pantry. So we will be providing you with the link if you want to pre-order the Zero Waste Chef's new cookbook. And with that being said, I'm going to allow everybody to share any comments, or if anybody has any questions, please don't be shy. Ask us if you would like to talk to Anne-Marie or myself. And if not, then I want to thank you for your time and participation for today. And I hope you have a wonderful time making delicious zero waste soup. Any questions?
How is the soup coming along, Anne-Marie?
Oh, it smells great, Ruth. I can show you. It's simmering away. Yeah, this is great. And now I'll have dinner ready. Oh. There it is. So
looks
so
good.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, just a few more minutes of simmering, I think. The vegetables should be done. Actually, I may as well go ahead and just finish it off. This is a lot of beans, but that's good. That'll be good. And I added salt during the little video. Oh, add a bit of lemon juice. I'll just let that heat through. And it looks really yummy. Super simple. That's it. Oh, wait. And my sad wilted lettuce that my friend would have thrown out. Well, composted. She would have composted before she leaves for her trip tomorrow. So I'll just throw that in there at the end here. And add some color. So there we go. That's it. It's a big pot. There. Oh, let me bring this back up here.
I don't know about anybody else, but I'm definitely hungry now. Looks really good.
Well, thanks so much, Jessica and Anne-Marie. Now we're all inspired to raid our refrigerators for more ingredients.
Absolutely. And just like I said, everybody, we will be sending everyone the recording of this video, as well as the links to the ingredients in the recipe, as well as Anne-Marie's link if you want to pre-order her Zero Waste Chef book. And for all of the parents, for Bancroft Elementary School, you can pick up your bundles at the school, and your child's lesson plans will be in the bundles, the packets, and the parent letter has all the instructions, all the information you need to know. And there's also a toolkit link that has access to a folder, and there is a Google Doc with all the links. They're little tutorial videos that will help you go step by step with the Zero Waste, the Earth Day challenge for Bancroft Elementary as we move towards zero waste.
I disappeared there for a minute, but I'm back.
Sorry about that.
Got so excited about my soup. I hit a wrong button.
Well, thank you so much, Anne-Marie, for your time and for sharing your recipe with us. I will definitely be experimenting, and I am curious to learn how to make my own cheese. So I will, is that in your book as well?
Let's see, ricotta cheeses. And then this last, November, I started to make cashew cheese. That's not in there because, you know, I finished the book, you know, a year ago.
So when is part 2?
It takes a year to lay it all up. Pardon me?
When is part 2 coming out for the cashew cheese?
Oh, we'll see. Yeah, if there is another book, I'll put the cashew cheese in it. It's really fun to make. It tastes really good. But the ricotta, it's so easy to make. And I wrote in the book, I think if everyone who makes cheese, if everyone who eats cheese made it at least once, no cheese would ever go to waste again. And it's not that it's a lot of work for soft cheeses like ricotta. That's a soft cheese, super easy. Hard cheeses are you know, they're a lot more work. Well, a lot, and you have to wait a lot longer. But a soft cheese like ricotta, it renders so much whey. You get a very small amount of cheese and a big amount of whey. And for me anyway, it makes me appreciate, wow, look at all these resources that went into the cheese. I mean, not only all of the energy and water and everything that the cow consumed, but then when you know, to get the milk, but then everything that goes into making the cheese. So I think it's really important to learn how to do these things. And then you know where the food comes from and you appreciate it, it tastes way better. Your broth probably tastes delicious, you know, and it's free. The broth is free.
Yes, yes. And yes, and I've been making amazing soups and I keep experimenting. And so I definitely will be purchasing your book and exploring ways to stretch what I have in the pantry, stretch what I have in the refrigerator, and to continue to eat healthy, and not only eat healthy, but enjoy what I'm cooking and experimenting.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Well, make sure you get the free recipe bundle for anybody who pre-orders. It's all on my website. You get this bonus download of 6 recipes. And then I have to take that down. My publisher told me I have to take it down the day the book goes, you know, is released on the 13th. So okay. Yeah, there's 6 recipes in there. They're really yummy, if I don't say so myself.
Great. So to get those recipes, we have to pre-order.
Yep. Yeah, and I want to make sure everybody who has pre-ordered gets them. So, because I don't want them to miss out. I worked really hard on those. Worked really hard on the book and on those 6 bonus recipes too.
Well, thank you so much. And thank you for all that you do. And thank you for helping share ways that we can reduce our food waste and make healthy meals for our families.
Well, thank you, Jessica. Thanks so much for having me. I wish I was in this school. That video was awesome with the little carrots.
Yeah.
So fun.
Yes, and good luck to all the young ones who are going to be experimenting with growing from their food waste.
It's so fun.
It is, especially when you get a baby tree.
Yeah, that's awesome. Your avocado tree is really impressive.
Yes. All right, everyone. Well, thank you for joining us today. We're going to say goodbye, and we also wish you a wonderful spring break, and we will see you when school gets back into session. Thank you, Anne-Marie.
Bye. Oh, thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Ruth. Bye.
Bye.